In today's recruit report, we've got way more than just recruiting. Charlie Strong right there, take a look. It's time for an upgrade to the coach. And we're going to throw all of those points finally into his recruiting skills. He is now a recruiting master. The insta-commit. Level 1 million for Charlie Strong. Now has a 20% chance of an insta-commit whenever he offers a scholarship to a prospect sitting at the top, with Texas sitting at the top of their list. Danny Gonzalez, the defensive coordinator, remember, he came over from San Diego State in the offseason. Time to upgrade him a little bit. Still at a level 7, now a level 8. Once we get this upgrade, we're going to throw it at the pass defense. Not quite sure if we want to do it to zone coverage or man coverage. And I think we'll go with man coverage. Get a nice little boost. The next time around, we'll be looking at +4 to the man coverage, along with the press abilities, things like that. So a little upgrade from the coaching side of things. Taking a look now at the Big 12 conference standings. Baylor sits ahead of Texas. Not quite sure what the logic there is. Probably alphabetically. Both teams are undefeated overall and in the conference. Behind Texas is Oklahoma with 1 loss, only to Texas, as you might remember. Then TCU, who the Longhorns just took down, sitting at number 4. And then sliding on down the list, we've got this week's opponent in Kansas State, the Wildcats. We're going to be heading into Manhattan to play them. They are sitting at 500 right now overall. But more importantly, Texas, they care more about themselves than they do Kansas State right now, of course. Texas is sitting at number 1 in the BCS standings for the second week in a row after a 24-10 victory over number 14 TCU. You slide on down the list, Oklahoma sitting at number 6, the only other Big 12 team that's showed up in the top 10 for the BCS standings. You know that helps reciprocally between Texas and Oklahoma to have each other at the top there. Texas's victory over Oklahoma makes Oklahoma look a little bit better. And then Texas's resume gets boosted because they beat a top 10 BCS team. You can't go wrong there. One thing that we want to look at today is Texas's projections according to NCAA 14 of where they're headed in the next 4 years. Now, next year, Texas isn't projected to be a top 2 or 3, not even a top 10 team. They're actually projected. And by no surprise, you might remember the last episode not the exact last episode, but the one before that, when we looked at all of the guys that are going to be leaving, especially on the defensive side. And so Texas at number 20 next year, I think that's a fair assessment. I don't know about you guys, but then the year after that, number 6, and then 4 years down the road, actually 3 years from now, but year 4 if this is year 1. Texas is projected to be the number 1 team, and you got to believe that that's because of the recruiting class from last year and also so far this year. On the Heisman Trophy race, you saw there that Chris Warren is still in the top 5. He's sliding a little bit down. He is in the top 5 for rushing touchdowns on the season, and Tyrone Swoops, the quarterback for the Longhorns, is right up there in the top 10. Warren with 12. Swoops with 11. We didn't quite expect that. We really thought that Warren would be the feature back this year, but little did we know the triple option out of the spread would open things up for Swoops. Defensively, Caleb Blewett, also Hassan Ridgeway, a DN and a D tackle, leading the way in the sack department. Ridgeway with 11, Blewett with 8. Both guys doing fairly well on the tackle side of things. Being a human team, we're not going to get the assist tackles. That's one of the downsides of NCAA 14, that in user games it doesn't show all of the what am I trying to say here? Help me out, somebody. It doesn't show all of the assisted tackles, so you only get to see the solos. Whatever, no big deal. The game still recognizes for awards the value of the solo tackles. Moving on into recruiting now, sitting at number 3 with the overall class. Only 7 guys signed. Oklahoma sitting ahead of us. We always hate to see that, but it's early in recruiting still. Even though it's week 10, Oklahoma's 1 ahead of us with 8 guys signed. Taking a closer peek today at the guys we've signed. Brandon Williams out of Illinois, the number 1 overall quarterback in the nation. You might remember he's already signed with us. A 78 overall rated guy with 87 speed, 80 acceleration, 85 throwing power, not bad, and 77 for throwing accuracy. Very similar to Tyrone Swoops. except he's much further along in his career as far as his attributes go. Kevin Murray, 86 pass block, 81 run block. Can't go wrong there. Brett Johnson, a defensive end that we've already signed. Not the fastest guy at 72, but he's got some decent finesse moves with an 81 rating and a 75 block shedding rating is going to be very nice. Might possibly look at him as a pass rushing D tackle. Speaking of which, at D tackle, Will May. Not the fastest guy, not even the strongest guy, but a decent option there in Justin Crenshaw, who we've signed at outside linebacker at 68 overall. Nothing to get too excited about, but 92 acceleration. He's a guy that can quickly get up to speed. And then Aaron Drew, also a very fast guy. I'm not sure what we're going to do with him. 88 speed at middle linebacker is insane. 76 is tackle rating, 71 play recognition. That's phenomenal as an incoming freshman. And then Michael Powers, the athlete who has signed with us already, with a 90 speed rating. He can catch the ball, but he can also cover. 85 zone coverage, 87 man coverage. I'm thinking this guy's probably going to be a corner, but that catch rating is something that can't be overlooked. 75 catch rating. This guy might end up intercepting everybody when he gets to play and get on the field. And lastly today, I want to take a look at the pipeline states. There you see that little green dot next to California. We have finally achieved pipeline status in the state of California, thanks to our third signed recruit out of the state. You might remember from the past, how could you forget? We talk about it often. One of the steps to creating a dynasty is adding pipeline states in crucial areas such as California, such as Louisiana, who's right next to us geographically. And then we also want to step into Oklahoma and establish that pipeline. We haven't quite done it in both of those places yet, but we've got a couple guys signed already and on the roster as well. And it looks like we only need one more in Louisiana, and the same thing in Texas. So if we can just get one more guy to sign in either state, we're going to have that pipeline. And as soon as we do that, then we're going to start to branch out. We're going to spread out and try to attack another state, maybe somewhere up north like Ohio. But all the effort, it's finally starting to pay off. California, add them to the list. Texas is a big state with a lot of talent. Florida is a good state to hold on to, but California, Texas, Florida, California, what a group of pipelines. So a great update. We've got K-State next. We'll see you then. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, share, or comment below, and subscribe if you haven't. And next time you're shopping online at Amazon or eBay, use the links I've provided below in the description to help support my channel. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.